Hello everyone, and welcome back to Heaven's Secrets, episode 6 of season 2. The competition of the unclaimed ends in an unexpected way. I'm really intrigued to know what will happen because it's been about a week since I've played it, so I don't remember anything. Chapter 6, The Wheel of Samsara. Hundreds of eyes were staring at me. Dania and Monica seemed confident and relaxed, as if they've participated in this competition 1,000 times. To kill the serpent, the unclaimed will have to fight the elements, excruciating fatigue other creatures. But also they'll have to fight each other if they want to win. The winner will be awarded the Manjomi tattoo, painted in the blood of the dead serpent. This tattoo will give the unclaimed the same power of influence the immortals have from birth. Let's go. Seraph Crowley turned to us. Now I suggest you get a good rest. We will gather here tomorrow before dawn before you embark on your journey. He went down the stairs and the students began to disperse. I advise you to have a good long sleep. I'm not going to let you win. Be careful, Monica. Our mother killed the serpent back in the day. Mom managed to succeed here too? That doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Save your strength for tomorrow. I'm sure you're all talk and no action. We'll see. The night was long and sleepless. The anxiety was killing me. Several times I took out the mirror and woke Bond up to check if he was okay. I laid down again, but thoughts about the upcoming challenge kept me up. Yikes. I managed to get only a few hours of sleep. I woke up from the fact that someone threw clothes at me. If you think this is going to be a peaceful day, think again. I've selected a few outfits for you. Take your pick. You'll feel more comfortable moving around in them. Addie stood in the doorway with one hand on the doorpost, as if he was about to leave. Okay, sir. You look so sweet when you're asleep. I almost forget what it feels like. Addie. Hello. Where have you been? Here and there, mostly home. It's unbearable to stay here for too long. Aren't you supposed to get ready? You don't have much time. I love Addie. I looked at Mimi with a plea in my eyes. Why me? From the top of my head, because everyone is wondering if Rebecca's daughter can handle it. Mimi sat down next to me and straightened my disheveled hair. You can't die during the competition, but you can get crippled in no time. Thank you. You know, sometimes dying is easier. I hate you both. I looked at Addie almost angrily. Stop scaring me. It can get harrowing for you over there. The Serpent Tempter lives beyond the Matron River, teeming with all sorts of critters, and beyond the ruins of the abandoned city where angels used to live. Abandoned city? Yes, it was destroyed during the war between angels and demons many centuries ago. There's a cliff outside the city, with hundreds of thousands of stairs. The path is long and hard, so be careful. She handed me the outfits. Choose. Yeah. I like this. You'll feel comfortable in it even when you're running. And this outfit is so sexy. Mimi admired me. Now I can stop worrying for you. Alright. Come what may. We left the room. Bond, save me, please. Everyone gathered in the same place again. I managed to find DINO's face in the crowd. His gaze has always seemed distant, even cold. But when DINO saw me, he smiled, and that smile softened his stone face. Aww. Today the unclaimed will face a difficult test. Angel Fenzio. Again with Angel, he's a demon for fuck's sake. Fenzio stepped forward, holding golden ropes.
According to tradition, the unclaimed will have their wings tied. They must pass this test as mere mortals. But they are no longer as weak and must defeat the serpent.
While the seraph was speaking, Angel Fancy approached each of us to tie our wings. I tried to spread them, but the rope was too tight.
A serpent hatched from an egg a few months ago. This will help you find it.
As soon as I touched the shell, the serpent's image appeared before my eyes. I sensed its smell, its energy, and I could feel just how far it was from me.
I officially declare the competition open.
Firecrackers and confetti fired on both sides. Before I had time to collect my thoughts, Monica and Donnie were already running, bulldozing their way through the students.
Move, unclaimed.
You can do it. Addie. Hearing a familiar voice made me pull myself together at once, and off I went.
I'm weak.
The serpent, waiting to be killed, called out to me and brought me to a river. A lonely lighthouse towered above the tree line. It used to light up the road for immortals through the night. It feels so strange now to not be able to fly. I kept trying to spread my wings, but the golden rope made that impossible. Donnie ran past me.
Unclaimed, you'll never get to the serpent at this pace.
And he immediately ran across the river. As soon as his feet touched the water, it froze a bit, letting him move above its surface.
You're also an unclaimed. That's the whole point. He disappeared into the forest.
Well, hidden abilities, where are you? I ran as fast as I could after Donnie before the river had time to unfreeze. I had to run a few miles to get around the cliffs and reach the second river, the Matterthorn. 2 boats rocked off its bank. Is it orchestrated so that only 2 of us would make it further? But Donnie didn't need it. He used the same trick as last time and ran across without stopping. Monica jumped into one of the boats and began to oar like a madman. I didn't lag behind. We sailed, casting ardent rivalrous glances at each other, and soon we saw statues on both sides of the river. The stunning view made us stop and gaze. Something rammed my boat. The blow made me lose my footing. What's happening? The boat kept on rocking. I saw a silhouette bumping against its side. The boat flipped over. I plucked into the water but resurfaced immediately, frantically trying to catch some air. Shh! Good luck to you. They like to drown immortals. Ah! Monica sailed on as if nothing had happened. What up? Shh! The siren opened its mouth and bit my hand. I'm sorry. Ouch! Let go! Without looking, I began punching the siren in the face. Shh! But it wouldn't let go and kept clenching her jaw. As the pain grew stronger, my blows became harder and more desperate. Shh! The siren opened its jaw and I instantly kicked it back with my foot. It looked like that was the right thing to do because the siren sank to the bottom like a bag of rocks. I somehow turned the boat back over, climbed into it, and sailed on. Soon the ruins of old towers and statues appeared on the horizon, the remains of a past civilization. Monica and I got there at the same time. Once we came offshore, we rushed forward, attempting to get ahead of each other. But as soon as we entered the city, a cold blow threw Monica and me aside. Donnie came from around the corner with a smug smile. Not so fast, dolls. I'm tired of running. Let me rest a bit. I am weak, Donnie. So go on, rest. Who's stopping you? And let you get ahead of me? I don't think so. You moron. Monica hit him with the fiery blows. Oh! Donnie dodged it, laughing. You're using your powers way too often. Jealous much? He again directed an icy stream at us. Monica and I jumped aside. Donnie isn't trying to hurt us. He's toying with us. Actually, everyone uses their powers. In our case, it's just too obvious. A new blow. Bite me. Monica found a metal plate and at the very last moment covered herself with it. The blade froze in her hands and Monica threw it at Donnie. Huh? The unexpected blow of the flying metal plate knocked him out. While he came to his senses, Monica and I ran on. But after a few meters, she elbowed me. No way! I saw a ball of fire flared up to my left. Dodged to the right. I jumped to the right and pressed to the ground as low as I could. The fireball flew past me. Are you crazy? You could have killed me. Only if that's my intention, and so far it's not. She disappeared among the ruins, but I could still hear her laughter. Wrong girl, not job. The City of Angels seemed a strikingly different environment from the Angels and Demons Academy. All the sculptures, houses, and murals were telling a story about immortality, sacrifice, and purity. As I walked through the city, I looked around and imagined the demons destroying all this beautiful architecture during the war. I felt uneasy. I wonder why they never rebuilt this place. Carried away with my thoughts, I walked across the entire city. Girl, remember where you are. I stopped only when I reached a giant cliff with wide stairs leading to the very top. Oh no. My legs were in pain. They trembled. Each muscle ached, as if I was going through a meat grinder. Monica and Donnie were nothing but two distant dots, gasping. To reach the top. This is the finish line. One step, another one, followed by 100 more. Soon I caught up with Monica, then with Donnie. Next, both of them were left behind. They were so eager to waste their energy throughout the journey that now they can barely stand on their feet. Wait, where are... Monica was so out of breath that she couldn't finish the sentence. I didn't slow down and only stopped to rest when I've put some distance between me and my rivals. The farther up I went, the more I felt the serpent's presence, and the more strength and energy I felt in me. It's like it's feeding me energy. I slowly stood up from the stairs, dusted myself off, and looked at the remaining part of the path. I can handle it. I'm every bit as good as my mother. I'm worthy too. The last steps were the most difficult. Step, step, step. The silence reigning on the summit was alarming. The smallest rustle made me cautious. I heard a quiet, lingering hiss coming from the impenetrable darkness of the cave, echoing within its walls. The serpent must be huge. I hid behind a boulder, closed my eyes, trying to ignore the slow, threatening sounds coming from the depths of the rocks. Get a grip. Come out. As Shakespeare once said, a coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but once. I've already died once, that's plenty. I got back on my feet, fixed my hair, and stood in front of the cave. Come out! There was a barely audible rustle as the serpent's skin rubbed against the cliff walls. The sound died down so quickly as if it never happened, but it was enough to send cold shivers down my spine. Stop panicking. You've got this. Come out! My voice trembled and I was about to become hysterical, but instead I yelled even louder. Come out! I saw a bright flash of eyes and then a red tongue flicking, reaching out for me. A moment later I could see its head and the rest of its body. The serpent rose to its full height, looking down at me, and stuck out its forked tongue. Can I just say that serpent was gorgeous? I rushed away from it, but I stumbled on some tree roots that made its way between the stones. I started to crawl away little by little. Are you afraid of me? You can talk? Of course. How else can I tempt if not with sweet words? It darted towards me sharply, so that its eyes were at my face, and then began to peer deeply into my pupils. His look is terrifying. Nope, kick it in the face. I rolled onto my back, and with a move sharply honed during numerous lessons, I kicked the serpent in the face. It swayed, shook its head, and straightened up to its full height again. Hiss! The serpent crawled back, looked at me, crawled close again, then began to circle around me. You acted boldly. It observed me for a while and spoke. We are born every year. We have not touched you for a long time. We stay in our den. What do you need from us? I quietly looked around, searching for some kind of weapon. I saw a broken spear laying close by. The blade is a bit rusty, but it still looks sharp enough. The serpent hovered over me again. I'm not attacking you. Hiss. Will you strike me? Hiss. Spirit kill it, do nothing. I am gonna kill it by the sole reason because if we don't, it will die anyway, and Monica is gonna have the glory. And I'm not having that, so I'm gonna kill it. You truly are the Serpent Tempter, but I won't fall for your tricks. I did a somersault to the side and grabbed the spear. Hiss! It rushed at me, opening its mouth. Ha! I threw the spear. The weapon whistled in the air as if cutting through it. I'm sorry, it's beautiful. Look at this. The serpent jumped to its death. The spear pierced him, making a crunching sound. The serpent shrieked with pain. I didn't know that snakes could scream like that. It fell at my feet. It laid there with its mouth wide open in an eternal silent serpent cry. I squatted in front of it and cautiously jabbed my finger at its fang. The head tilted to one side as if it were a puppet. Sleep well, Serpent Tempter. Loud voices and whistles, live music, firm handshakes. I stretched my wings, numbed during the competition. Sheriff Crowley looked confused as if his thoughts were far away from here. The students seemed pumped. For them, we were like animals in a fight ring, there to entertain them. They didn't see the battle, but enjoyed the outcome. The only thing missing is popcorn.
Meet our winner.
The sheriff raised my hand high. The crowd started to applaud like crazy. As I raised my hand, I felt both proud and a little embarrassed.
Well, you are your mother's daughter.
Congratulations on your victory, you excelled. If I hadn't hurt my foot, I would have gotten there much faster. If you didn't hold me back wanting to win at all cost, I would have won. Whatever, if it ain't me, I don't care who wins. The cacophony of voices, the loud music, and Monica's and Donnie's debate sounded to me like distant vague murmurs against the background. I turned to a small window in the far end of the hall. How can I have fun when everything is bursting at the seams? Would Mom be proud of me if she knew that I won? But I doubted.
As I mentioned before, the winner will receive ancient Mahjong tattoo painted in the blood of the dead serpent. I asked the other two competitors to join the rest.
Crowley took a vial filled with black liquid.
Serpent blood.
He dipped his fingers in it.
The Serpent Tempter is dead. From now on, his power of persuasion passes to you.
A few paint strokes and the blood burned its way through my skin. Now. That's something and it's nice. I don't even know at this point. That's a nice thing, but I want this because you can see it more than that.
Congratulations to the unclaimed.
Everyone at once shouted, Eterna Gloria. I saw DINO in the crowd. With a smile on his face, he shouted, Eterna Gloria. I can't. This is cute. Bang. What? The music died down and the students fell silent. Gerald stood at a wide open door, agitated and deceived. That's a first. He adjusted his clothes and tried to compose himself.
What's the matter?
Gerald looked at all those present on the fence about saying anything, but the seraph was far away and it seemed that time was running out.
Winchester.
The seraph instantly began to move towards Gerald. What's happening? Everyone rushed to the exit as if something was waiting for them behind the doors. The students went inside in anticipation and pushed left and right without looking. I got trapped on all sides and had to go with the flow, until someone's hand pulled me out of the mess. I felt someone's hot, big hands around my waist, tenderly preventing me from falling and getting stumped. DINO. Be careful. I pressed against his chest and closed my eyes, trusting him. Finally, we managed to get out. Thank you. DINO put a hand on my shoulder and looked at me. Is everything all right? Yeah. Outside, I heard a heart-rending cry. Let go. It's Vincenzo. I ran out into the street. Several archangels were holding the Admiral down while he tried to break free. You're making a huge mistake. You're blind. He took advantage of the hype around the competition and tried to escape.
I knew this competition should have been cancelled.
What I find very, very funny is that Gerald is okay with this. Like, Gerald is okay with sparing our mom but killing Vincenzo. Like, I don't get it.
There is no more time to lose. Prepare Admiral Vincenzo for execution.
Yes.
This is precisely what he wants. Don't be so stupid. I have my orders. You know what that entails.
They took Vincenzo into the tower. Everyone was silent, but the demon's face were contemptuous and condemning. They were against the execution. I rushed forward. Admiral. Simona. He broke free, ran up to me and hugged me tightly, fatherly, as if he's known me for many years. Vincenzo, don't leave. We were set up, Simona. We are puppets in this charade. We would never be so stupid to get caught like that. Never. Someone wants to start a war. Be careful. The archangels rudely pushed him away from me, grabbed him by the arms and dragged him into the tower. The Admiral no longer tried to break free. He went limp in their hands and only his eyes revealed his struggle and anxiety. Don't repeat your mother's mistakes. Love makes you weak. Do not let anyone manipulate your feelings. He shouted fiercely into the crowd, but it felt like he was addressing me personally. It was a cry of the soul. I felt a lump in my throat. For some reason I wanted to cry. I pressed my hand to my chest, trying to calm my throbbing heartbeat. Why are you still here? Go away, there's nothing to see here. Gerald. Do you want war on your hands? Gerald grabbed my hand and shook me so hard that my teeth started chattering. Are you trying to add fuel to fire? Yes, that's my specialty. I don't have time for you now. He exhaled and calmly added, Everyone is already on edge. You'd better stay out of it. I'm sorry? I watched them take Vincenzo into the tower. He was looking at me. I need to save him. I need to do something. Lucifer, period. I was looking just for you, my love. For a while, Lucifer watched everything from sidelines, silently. But now he spread his wings widely. Go down into hell and get your father, sir. He wanted to take off, but Dino stopped him. I know what you're up to. Don't you dare. Dino, let hell take care of their demons. Take your hand off me or I'll break it. I'm on Lucifer's side. They'll do it anyway. Lucifer pushed Dino away. I wasn't asking for your opinion. He is so hot, like I'm sorry. He soared up and hid behind the clouds. Where did he go? Dino looked at the horizon, at the tiny dot moving away. To tell his father that the Admiral's execution will happen today. What did I say? Everyone get to your rooms, now. The angel obediently returned to school. Only the demons and some of the unclaimed stood still. Dino was the only angel who disobeyed the order. Didn't you understand me? No. Addie, who was so absent lately, suddenly stepped forward and spat at Gerald's feet. Yes, Addie! Yes, Addie! You're a demon. Why don't you care how angels treat us? Period! Addie, that's exactly what I just said. Like, I was not having it. Addie turned to the others, stretching his arms to the side, and shouted to the crowd. Angels trample us, but we're somehow worse than them. Demons have endured this for too long. And the crowd roared. Yeah. Addie, what are you doing? Sammy was an angel too. Addie rudely threw my hand off his shoulder. Sammy's dead. Austin joined Addie. He is right. Rebecca always stuck her nose where it didn't belong and got away unpunished. But when she breaks the rules, they make an exception and decide to spare her. Demons are irreplaceable to her. Rebecca doesn't deserve mercy, and the demons supported her with loud roars. Asti, face it, Simona, your mother deserves it. It's nothing personal. That's true. The demons could no longer hide their suppressed anger and went berserk. Their rage erupted like a volcano, and it spread everywhere. It reminded me of riots and protests that got out of hand back on Earth. This is your last warning. What should I do? I'm sorry, I'm in. I'm all in. Demons are right. This is unfair. Mother can't, get free and walk around as if everything is okay and Admiral Winchester gets killed. Like, no. And injustice must be fought. We formed a wall and pounced on Gerald and the archangels guarding the tower. Dino tried to stop me. What are you doing? We have to fight for equality. Otherwise the angels will become impudent. We need to fight for our rights. Dino squeezed my hand more tightly as if he were afraid that I'd break free. But violence is not the answer. Sometimes it is, my dear. Sometimes it is. I carefully freed myself. Sometimes violence is the only way. That I agree with. Dino looked at me quietly for a couple of seconds, then took a step back as if letting me go. I hope you get what you want. I stroked his cheek, then rushed to the others. We almost made our way to the tower. Suddenly, one of the archangels struck the ground with his pole arm, and the ground beneath our feet shook. And then Fancy came out holding an amulet. An unbearable sound made our ears bleed. If you don't want to go deaf, I advise you to get away from here. Everyone scattered and headed back to the school. I ran into my room. I was crying from pain. I didn't even notice how I ran past my door, but Mimi grabbed my hand and dragged me into the room. I can't hear anything. Me too. We sat on the floor leaning against the wall until our hearing was completely restored. All this time we were silent until Mimi suddenly jumped up, turning towards the door. What's the matter? I know my dad's energy like my own. Mimi looked at me. He's here. Uh-oh. Mimi pulled me along, forcing me to run after her. She was in such a hurry, so anxious that she couldn't say a word. She just mumbled. Why did he come? Why? Mimi got it right. We went outside and saw someone in the distance approaching us. Mimi quietly explained to me who's who. I've never seen her so scared. Ay. Ooh! Yes! All the demons starting the riot. Yes, yes! Go off, go off! Lucifer brought them. Yes, Lucifer! When they caught up with us, the demon mammon stopped, noticing his daughter. He slowly shook his head, unhappy that Mimi came out to meet him. I felt Lucifer looking at me. What are you doing here? You love me, stop it. Satan stood proudly with his head held up high. I could feel the tremendous power hiding behind his human form, and the fury that he held back. Counselor Rondon whispered something into Satan's ear, and he sharply looked at me. A crooked grin appeared on his face. So you're the daughter of Seraph Rebecca. Satan waved a hand to the counselor. Warn them about our arrival. I want to see them try anything while we are here. Yes, sir. Rondon disappeared behind the school gates. I heard about you, Unclaimed. I wonder what Rebecca's daughter looks like. He lifted my chin slightly. Lucifer leaned forward as if he wanted to do something, but restrained himself. Oh no, Lucifer. He has the feels. He has the feelings. This didn't slip away from Satan. Interesting. What a pretty face, just like Rebecca when she first arrived. Will you cause me as many problems as she did? His eyes, though. I'll try to. Mammon laughed. Good one. Satan didn't like my answer. He casually let go of my chin as if pushing it away and grimaced again. Too much arrogance. We will need to shake that out of you. Satan extended his hand forward and clenched it into a fist. I instantly felt my throat being crushed. Sir! Panic, pain, surprise. I could choke on my sensations, but I couldn't utter a word. I could only see Satan's eyes, enjoyment as my face swelled and turned red, as I began to cry in pain like a fish on dry land gasping for air. Simona! Demon Mammon came up to Satan and bowed. I don't want to distract you, but the execution will begin soon. Let them try. I fell to my knees, gulping air greedily. Lucifer stood calmly as if he had seen his father torture others more than once. Sir! I wanted to pounce on Satan, scratch his face, but I didn't have enough strength even to swear at him. He looked down at me. I do not want her to become a pain in my ass. Let me become a pain in your ass. Satan stood behind me, grabbed my throat, and raised my head so that I'd see Lucifer. Lately, I was too distracted from what was happening in heaven, including the academy. I was too soft. From now on, I will kill every beast before it grows its teeth and figures out how to use them. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm sick of your flamboyance. That is precisely what I meant. No teeth yet, but she trying to bite. Satan squeezed my throat. No! Father, no! Ooh! You just got busted, son. One move of his hand and... Oh! I'm dead, I'm weak. Crunch. I felt a sharp but fleeting pain. Darkness. Let death come. No! Mimi knelt beside me and was slapping me on my cheeks. Hearing my scream, Mimi fell silent. You're alive! She burst into tears and laughed at the same time. See if I got so scared. What was that? Satan snapped your neck. I grabbed my throat. But why? He didn't want to kill you. An immoral can only kill another immoral if he intends to. Mimi was trembling and smiled with tears in her eyes. Don't scare me like that anymore. I hugged Mimi and we both laughed through our tears. I was trembling heavily. My head was spinning and my neck hurt so much that I wanted to cry. But I had only one thought on my mind. The execution! They're going to kill the Admiral now, but what will happen to Mom? In a haze, I ran towards school, where the execution was about to take place. I felt my body regenerate, but there was no time to pay attention to it now. Mimi caught up with me when I stopped and hid behind the corners so no one would see me. Wait for me! We were the only ones who decided to watch the execution. Some of the demons, angels, and unclaimed were hiding here and there to see the execution. Everyone was anxious and afraid at the same time. Seraph Crowley spotted us, but turned away, focusing on Satan standing in front, next to the scaffold. Mom. She stood aside next to Crowley, Mammon, and other archangels. Why did they bring you? The stairs leading to the platform creaked. Winchester climbed them, accompanied by an angel. The angel led him towards the chopping block and roughly forced him to kneel. The Admiral didn't try to jump, and he couldn't fly up as his wings were tied together with a rigid wire. It dug into his flesh and blood was dripping onto the wooden platform. The Admiral kept looking at my mother, and she was looking back at him. Her face was emotionless like a wax doll, but her hands tightly squeezing her dress gave her away. Winchester's lips whispered something, clearly delineating the syllables so that she understood it. Don't blame yourself. Mom, please come up with something. Say something. But she was silent. I clenched my jaw so hard I felt the taste of blood in my mouth. They can't kill him. They just can't. Ask to speak with the Admiral. I am gonna speak with the fucking Admiral. I don't give a damn. I left my hideout. Mimi didn't have time to stop me, and Satan already noticed us. She caught up with me and looked apprehensively towards her father. Why did you come here? The discipline interfere with things they obviously should not. You have lost your grip, old man. He looked at me, and his eyes flashed red scarlet. You're a slow learner, unclaimed, aren't you? Standing so close to Satan after he broke my neck was painfully scary. I swallowed. Can I talk with the Admiral? A last word? Seraph Crowley wanted to say something, but the demon Mammon intervened. Fortune favors the bold. Let the girl talk. Thank you. I felt Satan closely watching me as I approached Winchester. How's it going, sweeties? Once I got too close to the Admiral, the angel guarding him threateningly swayed his blade. It warms my soul that you decided to say goodbye to me, but I'm afraid I wasn't worth the risk. I knelt before him so I'd be easier for him to look at me and moved a little closer. What can I do for you? Be strong. He quietly took off his ring and put it into my palm. What is it? I hope you find answers. Admiral smiled at me as if nothing had happened. I wanted to answer with a smile, but winced hearing Satan's harsh voice. I have shown respect to you, old man. I come accompanied only by my advisor when I can bring an entire army. As the Lord fell, I demand the execution of Rebecca too. He doesn't need Winchester. You know that's not possible. You're not hearing me, Seraph. This will have consequences. You will not dare intervene, you know that. Sifa will not forgive you for this. They'll rip out each other's throats any minute now. Seraph raised his hand, staring at Satan. This is the will of the council, and therefore the will of Sifa. Admiral Winchester closed his eyes, laid his head on the chopping block. No, no, no! Crowley lowered his hand. The angel immediately reacted to the signal. The sharp blade flashed in the air. I am weak. No! His head rolled down the scaffold. I gave a start and covered my mouth with my hand. I wanted to scream, to rush forward, but where? Once I saw what was left of the Admiral, I felt nauseous, and a scream got stuck in my throat. I turned away. Mom stood motionless. She turned away for a second, but then forced herself to look back at Winchester. Her lips trembled and became white, but she didn't look away. Satan grabbed the Admiral's head by the hair and lifted it up. You have achieved your goal. He threw the head aside like garbage and came up to my mom.
Did you enjoy it? I personally asked you to be brought here. The same fate awaits you pretty soon.
Ma'am spat in his face. Satan calmly wiped his face with the back of his hand, glaring at her. The seraph stood between them.
Enough. The execution is complete for now. Rebecca will remain in captivity in the tower. You thought hell would simply turn the other cheek. Period. I warned you. By killing our admiral, you declared war on all demons.
Period. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go. I'm about to be on the demon side for war, people. Like, literally, I have 29 demon points. Like, it's happening. I'm on demon side. I actually have to say I was a little surprised because I have such a high, or let's just say such a close relationship with Lucifer that he was gone, as if we wouldn't have anything with him. And just Mimi was there telling us that Satan didn't want to kill us, so that's why we're still alive. But I suppose since I already had decided in the earlier episodes, episode 4 I think, I talked to DINO, and it was like written that we are together now. So I suppose that's why there was nothing more to play around with Lucifer, let's just say like that. So that's why he was already gone, because I suppose he saw it that we're together with DINO, so he could figure it out himself. So next episode is gonna be funny. And I'm so looking forward to know what will happen. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.